Hey, what is up guys? Zero here, welcome back to another Lorcana video. Today we have for you the last game I played in set 4, so I'm going to be getting you some set 5 gameplay after this, so be on the lookout for that. But for the last game of set 4, what could have been better than to finally play against Brooms, one of my favorite decks. I love Brooms. I wish I was playing Brooms, but I don't have the cards for it. But yeah, this is our resident Broom player. He's been playing Brooms for a while, and I finally get to face off against him. I haven't found him in these local tournaments until now. So yeah, we get to face off against Brooms. That is very exciting, and I love it. I love that this is the last game I get to play in set 4. But yeah, of course, we are playing Blue Steel as always. I think I'm going to get some variety in the next set, so be on the lookout for some new decks. But for now, still playing Blue Steel, and I am on the draw. My opponent gets to play first, and luckily he does not find a 1-drop. Very good for me, because Brooms ideally is a very aggressive deck. They like to drop cards very early. They like to get lore very early with cards like Yen Sid, where you ideally play a 1-drop Broom into a Yen Sid into another Broom, or you know, another Yen Sid and Broom, something crazy like that. But you can get something as early as 5 lore on turn 2, because you go 1 with your first Broom, and then you go Yen Sid into another Broom, and yeah, you could quest up to 5, which we might be seeing. But yeah, luckily my opponent does not find a 2-drop either, so pretty good start for me. I just get my Popsicles and Fortispheres. I seem to be drawing them all in this game. But yeah, on my opponent's third turn, he is going to be playing Maleficent to draw a card, and I respond with a Fishbone Quill, and I just keep going. I get another Fortisphere, so I'm just getting all of my 1-drop items this game, which may be nice, may not be. I wish I had a little bit more of a board presence, but you know, at least my opponent didn't find some of his early drops, so that was good for me. On turn 4 though, he gets out his Bruno Madrigal. This is really good for a Broom deck. If you don't know what he does, he is a weird card. A lot of people probably don't see him very often, but basically when he quests, he gets to check the top card of your deck. If you name what that card is correctly, then you get to lore for, I believe, 3 instead of 1. And it's really nice for Brooms because a lot of your cards are named Magic Brooms, so that is the whole idea. He's also evasive, which is a little bit hard for my deck to deal with. Like, I will have to probably use actions and songs to get rid of him, or I can use Tinkerbell to get rid of him too. But yeah, my opponent, for his move, after I drop my Tinkerbell, he will quest with his Bruno, and he hits his Magic Broom, a very good sequence of events for him. And yeah, he follows by singing Let the Storm Rage on Tinkerbell. In retrospect, I probably wouldn't do this, and the reason is it gives as I was saying, it's really hard for my deck to access the Brunos because I don't really have counters to evasives. I have actions that can get rid of them, but otherwise I do not. But one of my things that I can reach him with is if I take out this Maleficent right now with my Tinkerbell, I get to do 2 damage to something else, and since I already did 1 damage to the first Bruno, I get to take it out. Whereas if he didn't turn his Maleficent sideways, then I don't really have a way to reach the Brunos, and he could have had some more questing opportunities. But that's kind of more like if you know my deck more in depth, then you would kind of maybe be able to think through that. But it's hard because it's you're possibly missing out and I might have had a way to do 2 damage to the Bruno anyway, right? But yeah, anyways, my opponent on his turn quests with his new Bruno, which he played alongside, and with his quest he finds another Magic Broom, which was very nice. And with his new Magic Broom that he plays, it's the mechanical Magic Broom. He adds resist to his Mickey just in case I got shenanigans to try to get rid of him. But yeah, so here's the thing where I can't really reach that Bruno right now, and I have Cognus on the field, so I'm going to sing A Whole New World, and I'm just fishing for something to kill this Bruno because it is gaining a lot of lore very quickly, because he has hit his Magic Brooms both times with his Bruno quest, which is really nice for him. That is a lot of lore for cheap. But yeah, I continue to fish with him, looking for something to play, and I finally do find Along Came Zeus. I play a new Cogsworth, and I sing it with Tinkerbell to finally get rid of that Bruno. But yeah, here's the thing, like, if there were two Brunos on the board right now, that might have been dangerous. If he called correctly with both Brunos, he would be at 10 right now, and right now he would also still have a Bruno out, unless, I don't know, I drew into Baboom or something. But yeah, anyway, on my opponent's turn, he will be playing the Rush Broom. It's a 5-cost Broom that immediately can rush, and he will do it to rush into Tinkerbell. And the reason he does that is because he has Mickey Mouse out, and it just returns back to his hand. Interesting play. I don't know if he had enough ink to do it again. I don't think he does. Yeah, because I think he has 7 total, if I'm counting correctly. So he couldn't do it again. But there is a question of maybe he should have rushed into Cogsworth instead, because I have 2 Cogsworth out, so it only did 2 damage to my Tinkerbell. But I think his idea here was he wanted it back into his hand so that he could do it again, and Cogsworth wasn't going to be able to kill it. And there's a concern that if I take Mickey out before I take that out, then he wouldn't have the card again. But yeah, he has a significant board right now that he is pressuring me very extensively with. And I just gotta hope for a way to kind of clear it before he starts getting questing. A big concern about these Broom decks is the Sorcerer's Tower. So if he stacks up this board and manages to play Sorcerer's Tower, then he can move essentially everything into it and suddenly quest for a lot. So yeah, that is something I definitely have to look out for. But I do have an answer here. It turns out, because I have Tinkerbell to deal 1 to everything, I follow by singing Grab Your Swords. Not only that, I have an Avalanche in my hand, and it is just enough to take out some of these 4 health units that were on the board. There's the Mickey. I think one of the Brooms had 4 health. So it was just a perfect number. And just kind of lucky. I did fish a lot. I drew a lot of cards with, you know, like the Popsicles for the Spheres with Hiram after I whole new worlded. So I did just manage to find everything, and it did end up working out. Unluckily for my opponent. But he had a really big threat on the board. Like, if that managed to stay up even a little bit, like, then the Sorcerer's Tower was going to be a real dangerous threat, which I really love about Brooms, that it can take out some major decks if you get the right cards and your opponents don't. It's a contender. It's not one of these like so-called meta decks that everyone's talking about, but it's definitely fun to pilot and fun to see in action. But yeah, this game looks really good for me right now. My opponent does have to play that Broom to take out my Tinkerbell, and then he only has friends on the other side for his remaining 3 ink. And my board is extensive. I have 2 Cogsworth, a Hiram, and a Tinkerbell against my opponent, which has nothing. And I don't really have to put too much more pressure, but apparently I'm going to. I'm going to drop a Tamatoa just to add insult to injury here, add another threat onto the board, and I'm just going to quest with everything. Like, why not? It's really hard for Brooms to answer a wide, extensive board, and Cogsworth especially, because he's playing Purple Steel, which means that it's really hard to find answers or clears, because 2 Cogsworths really like stops Grab Your Sword or anything like that. So he knows, and he's going to scoop here. A very interesting first game so far. My opponent did manage to build a board, but it ended up that I just had enough to wipe everything, so that was a little unfortunate for him. So yeah, game 2 is going to come around, and he gets to go first again. So he does find his 1-drop Broom, so already looking way better. If you find your low drops for the Brooms, it definitely is better, especially against my deck, which takes a little while to build up. So yeah, something to think about for sure. But yeah, on turn 2, my opponent also has the Yensid, which is really good. Yensid gets to draw a card if you already have a Broom. So with his 1-cost Broom, he gets to draw. Not only that, if he does play another Broom next turn, it gets to quest for 3, like I was talking about in the first game. So that's one of the prime Broom threats, one of the very aggressive Broom threats into most matchups. But yeah, I kind of consider what to do here. I think I have a Baboom in hand. It's probably why I'm thinking so hard. But there it is, yeah. So I was thinking about Babooming the Yensid. I end up being a little greedy. I ink it away to play Shmi, and I'm just kind of threatening, oh, if you quest here, I'm probably going to take Yensid out. but it does let him quest for 3 area, because on his turn 3 he does play another magic broom, the vanilla 3 cost, and he quests with everything, which brings him up to 5. The very good threat on the board right now. I will follow through. I have my Mickey to ramp this turn, and I will take out Yensid with the Shmi. He's gonna take an extra damage for me ending my turn, but yeah, I mean, it looks not too bad for me. That was a lot to have on the first turn for sure, or not first turn, but you know, on the first turns plural. But I mean, at least I have something of a board here. I didn't have to rely on Quill here. I have a Mickey on the board to also help with this Broom threat. But yeah, on my opponent's following turn, he will play his Maleficent again to draw another card. And he's going to go ahead and sing Friends on the other side with his other Broom too, which is nice. He is getting some good cards here. And he continues to quest, continues to get his advantage out there. And my Shmi is kind of out of commission. Well, not really, because I do have Popsicle out. So in retrospect, probably want to take out my Shmi there while it only had 1 health. But I think he wasn't considering Popsicle. Using it to heal the Shmi, because now I get to just use him to ram into a Broom again. Yeah, probably wanted to run that Broom into Shmi in retrospect, but also, you know, playing an aggressive deck, you kind of want to get your quest in while you can, so that is something to think about. Without Popsicles, my Shmi is kind of out of commission anyway, so you could consider it out of commission right now, I guess. Or, you know, it's hard to say. Yeah, you probably wanted to trade there, just because, you know, Shmi is a pretty big threat on its own. But yeah, my opponent is going to be playing Queen's Castle here, and he will move his Maleficent onto it. If I remember correctly, I inked away a Rise of the Titans, maybe 2. So really good position for Queen's Castle to come out. My Shmi also got taken out. I don't really, I didn't see it get taken out, but it's gone now. And now that it's gone, I have difficulty getting rid of this Queen's Castle. In retrospect, probably should not have been inking my Rise of the Titans. I keep doing this against Amethyst. I really should learn my lesson, but I don't know why outside of like Ruby Amethyst, I don't know why I think only Ruby Amethyst is a threat with Queen's Castles, but like Amethyst Steel with Brooms here, I just think, oh, Rise of the Titans, what an inkable card, and I just ink it away every time. But yeah, definitely gotta learn my lesson there at some point, because I still keep doing it. But yeah, I did drop Tinkerbell earlier just to put a threat to be able to challenge this Queen's Castle, because yeah, my opponent did gain 2 lore off of it, which is very nice for him. But yeah, we see on this turn my opponent is bringing out a really old card that we haven't seen in a while. It's Ursula's Cauldron. And yeah, the idea behind this is to pair it with Bruno, because if you have Ursula's Cauldron, you get to see what is coming up next, and if you know what's coming up next, you can quest with Bruno and definitely get your 3. So that's the idea there. Yeah, with my board currently, I have Mickey's, I have Tinkerbell, so I managed to just challenge the castle, since I damaged it earlier with a Mickey. So it had 1 damage at 6 health left, so that was just a perfect amount to get rid of it. So at least I had a way to deal with it. That was kind of nice. And I also dropped Ariel just to put my own lore threat onto the board. But yeah, my opponent answers in kind with putting out his Bruno. So now the threat is on the board where he can check with the Cauldron and quest with Bruno to definitely get the 3 if he is looking for it. Yeah, I don't know, because like with a deck so extensively into Brooms, maybe the Cauldron is not that big of a concern. I might just go ahead, or you know, if it was me, I'd probably just not have it in, just because you're probably calling Brooms most of the time anyway, and you're probably gonna get it most of the time. Especially, I see he's playing a lot of the lesser, you know, Brooms, like some of the vanillas and stuff. So you have a lot of Brooms, like maybe that's a consideration. But yeah, I go ahead, I Zeus away the Bruno just because I don't want to deal with that. I pay for it because I want to use Tinkerbell here to sing A Whole New World. So yeah, since I was doing that, I decided to pay for the Long Game Zeus, and now I have a fresh new hand. I still have Ariel on the board. Something I did realize right now though is the Ursula's Cauldrons actually pay off, where so I do quest for 5 here with my Ariel because I have more items than my opponent, but I'm only 1 above my opponent right now, so that is something I had to consider, as I had to make sure I wasn't messing up and questing for 5 if I have less items than my opponent. But I did happen to play out the Fishbone Quill so that I have more, and I managed to get my quest in. But yeah, we're going to see that matter in this turn where, well, first he's going to play his 2-drop Broom to shuffle in, I believe he shuffled in Bruno back into his deck. He lost to Bruno, so he just decided to put that back in his deck, because why not? But yeah, we see here he's going to play out a second Cauldron, which, I mean, a little unfortunate that he drew it. I don't think it's what he's looking for right now. He wants, you know, more board pressure. He needs brooms on the board. He needs characters on the board, not more Cauldrons. But the Cauldron is nice and delaying, because now he's tying me in items. If I don't find another one, my Aerial loses 2 lore ability. It only lures for 3 instead, which is not the worst deal. Luring for 3 is still really nice. But yeah, my opponent floods his board again with another Yen Sid. And yeah, I mean, so this is something I was considering, where there is a threat of the Sorcerer's. I've been thinking about it the whole time, because the Sorcerer's Tower is obviously a threat where he can quest for a bunch. But I played Tamatoa, so my board is definitely too difficult to answer right now. I'm going to quest up. I only quest with 3 for Aerial this turn because, as I said, we are tied in items. I only get 3, but I am still threatening lethal next turn, and it is a very big threat. If my opponent can't deal with it, then it's going to be over. But we'll see. Even with Sorcerer's Tower, adding all of his basically essentially 4 lore, because if he moves everything on Sorcerer's Tower here, he only gets up to 19, so it's really close. He almost took this game from me. He just needed 1 more character on the board for his Sorcerer Tower to take this win, so it was really close. I think he thinks really hard on if there is a way to get it out though, but it turns out he is just 1 short, which is very unfortunate. But it was a really good game. I'm so excited to finally play the Brooms. I'm excited to see the future Brooms. I don't think they got much in the next set, but you know, maybe it's a little more doable. It's something to think about for sure. But I always love Brooms, so I do wish it the best in the future. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, let me know, like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in set 5 in the next video. Very exciting. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for checking us out, and ciao.